What is going on, guys? Sterling, we're working on it. But I got a little bit of mail call, a gift to myself. Actually, I can't say it's from myself. Well, it's from myself, but it's to the family, right? So what I've been doing every year is, since my wife and I have been married, is I've been buying a grade 70 Silver Eagle, right? In plans that, I don't know what plans for, but just, she's squawking. Just for fun, you know, kind of a little cool time lapse. Anyways, I just got the other one in, the 2024 early release. These look so good, I love them. But anyways, I got this really cool, can't say really cool, but nice little holder. And it holds them, they sit in there nicely. So yeah, I just want to do that unboxing quick. Let's see here. Yeah, look at that. Bright lights. Beautiful. But anyways, all the way back. All the way back. Well, we got 2018 is the first one we got. So, they get up there. It'd be kind of cool, you know, like 20, 25 years from now. I think after 25 years, I'm going to gold, though. If everything goes smooth. Meaning, like, I'm still vertical. My wife might, Anyways, we'll fly right past that. We'll get to the video. I'll see you at the end, alright? Alright, so we're starting out with 511 grams total. We've got 378 grams of refinable material. We've got 57 grams of garbage that I've pulled off of here. 39 grams that the family decided they wanted to keep. 27 grams questionable. So our total is 501. Alright, what is going on, guys? Man, am I excited to be back in the lab. We get to do some refining and we get to add some silver to the silver collection. Alright, which means we are almost, well, at least one step closer to getting the silver cell back up and running, making us some 3/9 fine silver. Alright, so I've got everything here. At this point, I've got all of the jewels off, except for some of the real small ones. Not the end of the world. It really doesn't do anything, at least what I've done so far. Alright, so example, like these ones. Right, so some of the real small ones stay on there, not the end of the world. But they're all incinerated, all the other stuff is off of there. So, let's go ahead and make our concoction up here. Let's go. Alright, get our water. And we're just going to go, let's see here, 500 mils of distilled. And we're getting down towards the end of this nitric here. We may use the rest of it on this refining batch here. All right, that's about 250, maybe 300 mils. All right, let's get that a good mixture in there, and let's add our material. Alright, get that under the fume hood. And let's let her eat. Look at that nitric just go right after that sterling. Alright, It is the next day. We've got our material settled out a little bit, so we can at least see. Let me grab my gloves quick. All right. And it looks like we have quite a bit of material left. So, yeah, along with a lot of slimes at the bottom. This will be interesting. All right, well, let's keep going. Spin this around. So we got, let's see, about 600 mLs of solution. Let's add a little bit more distilled water. Bring that up to 700, little topper upper. Yeah, we're looking at, like, let's say 750. There we go. And I'd say we probably put in 200 mils of nitric in. Well, let's let it do its thing. Let it eat. Turn some heat on. Spin this back around. All right. So, with the amount of materials we have at the bottom, I'm starting to worry a little bit in the actual quality of this sterling. So, well, I'm not going to think too heavily about it right now, because there's really nothing I can do at this point. And yeah, so let's just focus on getting all the metals in solution, and yeah, we'll get a definite answer when we go ahead and put some copper in there and see exactly what we got. But it looked like there was a bracelet in there that maybe was just coated, but it's still too early to tell. Alright, so this has been on for about 2 hours now, with that last roughly 200 dose of nitric. Let's see here. Take that off. We don't need that guy. What do we have left? If any, metals. So we still have some metals in there. Quite a bit, actually. Alright, well, let's go ahead and fill this up some more. Grab my water. It's about 500 more milliliters of distilled water. Let's see, 300 more. Alright, let's let it eat. I am going to turn my heat plate up a little bit more. See if we can get that to boil. Baby steps, we're getting there. Alright, here we are. No more reaction. I don't see any color change or anything like that with the fumes. We still do have a chunk of stuff in there. A lot of those slimes are definitely dissolving, but it's also pretty hazy, so they just might be stuck in the water column right now. But You know, we may actually be at a good point. There's going to be a little left. There's no question about that. But then we know for sure that we don't have any more nitric left over for the cementing. And we can just run the rest of the stuff that's filtered out here in the next batch. Well, at the same time, I kind of want to keep this kind of scientific so we can get exactly what we have out. So if I don't dissolve that, so yeah, I changed my mind. If we have a little leftover nitric, we have a little leftover nitric. So let's, what are we at here for fluids? We are a little above 1,000. Let's go ahead and put a little bit more nitric in, just a tiny amount. All right, back up on the heat it goes. Got some gold coming out, baby. There we go. Let's let it do its thing. We are ready to filter out our silver here. So I'm trying to do this in stages. First off, because I have a 1,000 milliliter flask and I've got over 1,000 mils of solution. But if we can see here, there's quite a bit of material left on the ground, or the bottom of the beaker, I should say. And I don't think it's silver. It's got to be a tin of some sort. And there's quite a bit of it. So I'm going to try and get the least amount of liquid to deal with this stuff. So when I go back and forth to filter it 3-4 times, you know, I'm not working with 1,000 milliliters of solution. I'm working with maybe 250, 300, hopefully. We'll see how it acts as soon as I start pouring. I imagine, it sounds nice to say that that's going to happen, but I imagine as soon as I go to tip this, that solution is going to get quite cloudy, and that's when the fun begins. So I'm going to try to do this nice and slowly. Alright, we'll let this, the rest of this settle here. Oh yeah, there's a lot of that stuff we got to deal with. And I've got a clean beaker, so we can kind of filter this out a couple of different times, go back and forth, then store it in here, and then we'll go back and forth a couple of times with this, and then we'll go ahead and clean our beaker out really nicely, and yeah, go from there. Dilute our solution, put some copper in there, get some silver, baby. Alright, this is our second filtration of that first batch we did. It's coming out pretty slowly. There's a bunch of fine material that pretty much packed that filter up right away, so I'm glad I did separate it. Now, what I might do is, I think I'm going to add, we'll get to there when we get to that point. Well, we still have some sterling down there that was hiding underneath the goo. So, we're going to go ahead and put some water in here and some nitric. See if we can get the rest of that dissolved before we have to filter it, and we'll go from there. Alright, so we're going to go ahead, we're trying to keep this under 100 or 1,000. There we go. And let's see, we're going to just go ahead and throw the rest of this nitric in. Still got a little bit left. Alright, let's let it do its thing. Alright, we got that first batch nice and filtered. On to the second. Alright. be interesting to see what we have left for material as well, if any at all. Alright, so it looks like we've got some gold foils there on the bottom, and maybe one ring in there. Well, actually, let's take a peek. Yeah, so these are just crunchy foils. We might actually run this through some Aqua Regia, see if we can pull that gold out. I think this is the only bit of sterling we got left, right here. So, we'll get a weight on that. We'll add that, or subtract that from our yield. I think the rest is good to go. Alright, we've got everything filtered out and ready to roll. So we have to add some distilled water to this bad boy, dilute it up, and we should be good to go to add some copper. Alright. How to do this without breaking anything. There we go. Glove's got a little bit. Alright, now let's go ahead and let this do its thing. Alright, back with the sterling. So this has been cementing out for quite some time now. It's pretty heavy with all the copper we got in there. So yeah, let's go ahead and just do an initial dump here, see what we got left over. They have some scraping to do here. Let's see. Let me grab a. Let's see. 1 second. Back at it here. Grab this big piece of. Tons of it. Well, there we go. Nice big chunk of silver in there. We gotta get all the rest of this stuff off of there, and there's another piece down in there. It's gonna be fun challenge here. No question about that. Let's see what we got. All right. So I probably could have added a little bit more distilled water. That's why it's kind of stuck on all this copper as hard as it is. I think what we're going to try and do is boil this in some distilled water, see if any of it will come off. There's not a whole bunch left, there's still a little bit on there. But like this, on the other hand, there's a bunch of it. Look at that. That stuff is on there. There it goes. This one might need a hydrochloric boil. I'm thinking we're going to get a little bit of copper in there. Interesting. Interesting. Reload! Alright, get you in for a little better view here. Spray this down a little bit. We're gonna boil it, I think. We're gonna give that a shot. See if that comes off of there. Let's go like this. It's a big piece of copper in that beaker. I really don't want to drop it in there. Hold on. It's not quite. We'll do that after. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of. Let me get you a close-up of this. I don't. Well, either I didn't dilute it enough, or that might not be pure copper as I initially thought. That might be like red brass, which would be why we have so much copper. Or I didn't dilute it enough. I've never had it that, but or I've never had the copper nitrate turn that green when I was all done pulling the silver out. So that's what I'm kind of thinking. But we'll save the cleanup for this for part 2, because I imagine that cleanup process is going to take some time. So we'll get part one of the sterling silver out, and we'll move on to cleaning up our mess. There it is, my sterling video, and part 1. We got part 2. I got to clean up that mess. Yeah, I'm really not too sure what happened with that. So. Like I said, I either didn't dilute it properly or my copper was actually not pure copper. Which wouldn't surprise me because for a big switch like that, they might want brass, so it's a little harder. But it sure looked like copper, I'll tell you that. But I do know they make like a red copper too, so that could have been it. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you on the next one.